Witches. I'm Taylar.
And I'm Amber.
And this is
Waking Up the Witch. We're your neighborhood witches. Each week, we talk about all things witchy and connect with other humans in a storytelling format about navigating life on this floating rock.
We're two curious ladies trying to understand the human experience. But while we do that, we think it's important to honor the people that lived here before us and honor the cultures and traditions that we're being inspired by.
This podcast is about waking up the witch, which means we are learning and growing every day. That being said, we are always open to feedback on how we can do better.
The views and opinions of our guests don't necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Waking Up the Witch. Now, let's go, ghouls. Hey, Amber.
Hey, girl. How you doing, Taylar?
How's it going?
So good. So happy to be back here.
Yeah.
And recording with you. It has been a really fun month, but I can't believe it's been like 3 or 4 weeks since we've recorded, and
I don't want to do that again.
I know that this was like, we knew it was coming. I'm really grateful we prepared perfectly for that.
Yeah.
Like, it really helped streamline things and make things easy to come back into. But gosh, yeah, holy shit. So February 3rd, my besties came out here to visit me for a little over a week, and that was so great and so fun. And we did a lot of adventuring and just spending time together. So we realized it's like the first time we've spent that amount of time together since Cheyenne moved to Nebraska/Iowa, which has been, I think, 6 years.
Wow.
I think it was. Otherwise, we've just had like 48 hours with each other pretty much. So that was incredible. And then they left the 12th. And then the 14th, we got on a plane and went to the Dominican Republic for a week. And that was also really fun. I got to feed monkeys. I think that was probably the highlight of my trip. I totally cried. Like, I used to be so obsessed with monkeys when I was a kid and like wanted to have a monkey. Like, it was like,
didn't everybody want a pet monkey? I think
so. It was like I had monkeys everywhere. Like, it was my my family called me a monkey because I was always climbing trees and just being wild and, you know, having fun, scraping my knees and stuff. And it just always felt very connected to monkeys. And I didn't realize I was going to get emotional, but as soon as I was like holding them, I just was smiling so hard that tears were starting to come out of my eyes. And I just felt like, okay, I'm fulfilled. I've done everything I need to do here.
I could die now.
Yeah, it was so enjoyable.
The only time I ever saw monkeys was in Thailand, and I was genuinely terrified. So
I've seen them.
I'm also afraid of fucking butterflies. So like, I don't really know what
they were
the reference is.
Little squirrel monkeys, so they're really tiny, and it was in a controlled environment. They were vaccinated. Like, you know, it was a very healthy experience. So there wasn't really anything to be afraid of. They could bite you, but it's mostly because they're like trying to get food, and they just like someone we were with in Mark's company, he got bit on his leg by one of them on his tattoo, and I'm like, he just probably thought that you were some of his food, you know. You're colorful.
Yeah, we there's like a monkey trail that went through from the resort to the town, and they were like, keep your stuff on you because the monkeys will steal your shit. And so like my girlfriend Jordy had a boba tea in her backpack, and she like felt something and like looked up in the tree, and there's some monkeys like pulling the straw out and like eating all the things in her tea. I was like, I mean, it's yours now. So.
They're
and
so
then
cute and playful.
When COVID happened, I guess all of the monkeys were used to tourists like feeding them. So they turned into like monkey gangs, and they were like robbing people and like stealing food and shit.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Monkeys are crazy. They're cute.
They're so cute. Oh my God. Definitely one of my most favorite highlights.
I would love to go to the Dominican Republic. All the photos you shared really like convinced me that
the forest was incredible. I always love going to the jungle in countries like that. It was really beautiful. The beach was incredibly windy, though. It was kind of hard to sit and fully enjoy
You
it,
don't want to be
honestly.
exfoliated by the windy
I'm okay.
sound.
I just don't want it in my eyeballs.
They're just like wearing goggles, and everyone's like, "What's up with Amber?"
So much. I did get in the ocean like once, like full
Was it
body.
warm?
Yeah, it was pretty warm. Like the weather was perfect. Like so freaking nice. I never really felt too hot or, I even felt chilly at night. It cooled down quite a bit. And I mean, it was winter when we were there, but oh my God. Yeah, a beautiful country. I'm very grateful for the experience. I hate the travel though.
It hurts my body.
It's so much. It was
that's one of the hardest parts of living here. Like, okay, number one, so fucking grateful there is an airport.
Yes.
We could not have one. It's not that big of a city that we live in. But to get out of here, and even for me to get back to the Midwest or South are like 10 to 12-hour days sometimes. And so let alone going all the way across the country and then to another island, it's just it's a lot on your body.
There were people we met like on the bus back to the airport that lived in Wisconsin, and it was only going to take them 4 hours to get home. I was like, fuck, we have a whole day. Literally, like from getting on one plane to getting off our last plane was 25 hours of travel.
That's also
plus 3 hours.
Booked you a better flight.
Well, that's a whole nother thing, but
that's why I didn't say you should have. I said
our options were very limited at the time that they decided to finally book the flights.
If you hear me sniffling, I apologize. Every person I know is sick right now.
There's a good little winter cold going around.
Show is.
Poor Mark has been knocked out. Today is day 7 for him. Yeah. He got as soon as we left, and half the crew came down with it. Some are recovering faster than others, but he's, as soon as we got to the second airport, he was like, fuck, I think I'm getting sick.
That's exactly what happened to Curtis when we were at the airport from New Orleans. He was like laying on the ground and he was like, everything hurts and I think I'm dying. And then I haven't seen him that sick in a really long time.
Poor
maybe ever since we've been together. I'm usually the one that's down and out.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, look at my immune system. Oh, I'm doing great. And then the next week I was sick and I'm like, fuck.
That's what I've kind of been doing this week. And
no, you're not.
No, I know. I'm like, sick. I'm good. I'm healthy. I'm good. Yeah. Like, I feel like I have like a little something, but I think I'm just going to sit on top of the wave and keep powering through.
You're fine.
I got too much shit to do. Okay.
You're fine.
I'm healthy. I'm healthy. I'm wealthy. I'm rich. I am that bitch.
Yeah, you're right.
How's your February been?
Good. We went to New Orleans for my husband and his best friend share a birthday. We went for their birthdays. It was super fun. My childhood best friend was supposed to meet us there, and she did. She flew in. She got there at like 9:00, and then we had this like big fancy dinner that she didn't get until 9. So the whole crew, there were like 8 of us. We went to this really, really fucking awesome dinner. And then we went back to the Airbnb so that she could meet up with us. We played cards and we were like drinking and having fun, and decided to stay in that night because we had like 4 more days there. And so I'm like, we wake up in the morning, I booked brunch reservations, and I'm like doing her makeup on the little patio outside because it was so nice out. And she got 2 phone calls. She got a phone call and she ignored it. And then she got another one, and her grandma fell down and hit her face and head. Oh my God. And she is like 86 or something. And Jesse's a nurse practitioner, so she's like her main power of attorney for like her health stuff. And so and she was on blood thinner, so it was like she really needed to get out of there. I don't think anybody she knows listens to this, so it's not like I'm telling anybody's information. But so then she didn't even get to see any of the town or the city. Like,
that's so devastating.
It was really sad. And we were going to celebrate her birthday too, because her birthday was January 31st and we were there the 2nd. So
How long of a travel is it for her to get there and back?
It's not bad. I think typically like 3 or 4 hours.
Like in a car?
No,
Or she had to fly back?
a flight.
Oh
So
gosh.
car, we're hanging out, and my dad was like, "Yeah, I'll come hang out." My dad drove 10 hours. He lives in the same town as Jesse.
Dang.
My dad drove 10 hours and then wouldn't spend the night. He was like, "No, I'm good. I just want to like hang out." So he like went around like downtown with us, and we ate, and then we're like dancing at some of the bars and stuff. And then around like 8 o'clock, he's like, "All right, Tater Bug, I'm going to head out." And I'm like,
holy shit.
And we obviously had another room open because Jesse didn't stay.
Oh
so I'm
my
like, "Please
God.
just stay." And he's like, "Oh no, I got to get on the road." So he like drove, and I saw that he slept somewhere in Mississippi, and I'm like, weird flat. I mean, thank you for coming to hang. It was so
Wow.
nice to like spend time with him, but
Yeah.
like, what?
I cannot imagine driving 10 hours.
He was like, "What, you're not happy I came?" I'm
Not
like,
spend the
"Yeah, I'm like
night."
so happy you came, but like, will you at least just stay and leave in the morning?" So that was really nice, a little weird, but everybody had a really good time, and I'm just grateful that everything was super fun. Oh, and one of my like really, really close friends just happened to be there too. And so like Nicole, my other best friend, saw that she was there on Instagram and was like, "Oh my God, I think Autumn's there."
Holy shit.
So I texted her and met up with a bunch of like St. Louis girls, and we all partied. And Kurt was like,
That's amazing.
Curtis was like, "You're a lot," but then like Autumn acts like you, and two of you is just a lot. We're both like screaming and twerking and like dancing and yelling at people, and it was fun. I liked it.
That's so great.
I loved it. I had such a good time.
I love New Orleans.
And
you were the only one who had ever been there before, right?
I guess one of the girls' moms that came with us had been there when she was like 18. So we went to like back to a bar where she had like her first hurricane, and that was really cool, and like took pictures and stuff.
How cute.
I wish we had a little bit more time to explore, but when you're with like 8 or 9 people,
so hard.
Like it's hard to get around.
Yeah.
And so I would love to go back and like with maybe just Curtis and I and eat more food and do more like datey.
I'll go with you.
Yeah, we could just like party a little bit less. Well, we could like double date.
Like, let me come and be a part
let's
of
go.
your date.
I'm down. Just like party a little less and eat a little bit more.
Oh, the food is so fucking good there. Yeah. We could go to all of the cool
more
like
tours and stuff,
witchy shops and voodoo shops, and
I also
do
wanted
like
to
the
do that.
graveyard tours and things like that. Oh, speaking of, you went to the Museum of Death.
Yeah, I don't really recommend.
Yeah,
actually, I feel like just saying like I'm a true crime fan is even kind of icky. So I'm like, I was like a true crime enthusiast. Like I listened to a lot of it before, and now I feel kind of like I think the whole thing of true crime got really big, and I do think a lot of women are into true crime because we are usually the targets of true crime, and so we're trying to understand like the psychology behind it and like why we are targeted, and maybe even how to like avoid that and stay more aware. But this museum seemed to like glorify that a lot, and I'm just like not down with that.
Is it like all serial killer type stuff, or is there other
a lot of the serial killer, and they had like shirts with like, you know, the top 10 like prolific ones, like t-shirts with these serial killers' faces on them, and I'm like, that's disgusting.
That's gross.
It's gross. Yeah. It's like so insensitive. Like those people were sick in the head and they murdered people's family members. Like, let's not wear shirts with their faces on them.
No, we don't need to glorify it. No. That's not what we need to focus on.
And there was like, so some of it was really fascinating because there's literally handwritten letters from like the son of Sam. Like you can see the actual fucking letters, and it's can you imagine like the energy in there?
Of that? Yeah,
the energy like that touched his hands.
Yeah.
And then like Eileen Wuornos like underwear that she wore on fucking death row. And the part that like kind of sent me over the edge were the picture, which I can't get out of my fucking head, were the pictures of Sharon Tate's dead body, pregnant body. And it's like, if I ever fucking die, please don't put pictures of my dead body in a fucking museum for people to pay $15 and go, oh, look at that. No, I don't want that. That is so undignified and fucking disgusting. It made me so upset. And I was just like,
That's not being sensitive to the victims at all.
And like, you can't really find those photos online. So it's like, you definitely have to pay to go into this museum to see them. As soon as I left, I like went outside and I like grounded myself, and I'm like probably look crazy, but I just like put my feet in the earth and I like had my hands out, and I was just like, please like take all of this energy transmute. I'm not trying to carry this around with me all day. I was like, I feel like I need to fucking sage myself. That was just a lot.
Was there anything like outside of killers though?
Yeah, I mean there were like different kind of mummy things, and
because
like
that's kind of the things I think I'd be fascinated by.
Yeah.
But that's kind of gross.
It was a bit much.
Yeah.
It was actually way too much. And I like am not sensitive to stuff like that. Really, like it all felt insensitive.
Yeah. Yeah.
And kind of icky.
Ew.
Yeah. So if you are going to New Orleans, maybe
that's good to know. That's good to know though.
Yeah. I'm down with like some cemetery tours and ghost tours and like all kinds of stuff like that. I went to like one of those body works things when I was younger.
Oh yeah.
And they have the like bodies and stuff. And maybe that's kind of what I thought it would be more like. Yeah. But it wasn't.
I think I knew that there was some element to like psycho killers, but yeah, I think when you hear Museum of Death, like it's all encompassing is what I would expect.
I think even if it was just the memorabilia and not the photos. There was like another photo of some other woman that had like a bag over her head and was like I don't know. I was just like, no. Like, and they're naked. Like, that sucks. So,
well, good to know. Thanks for your honest experience of that. Sorry you had to deal with that.
It's okay. I mean, again,
do they have like warnings about that anywhere?
No. They're just like, have fun. Okay.
Wow.
Just like, it should have been outside. Like, don't go. I don't maybe think that I would always have been as sensitive to that, but
no, that's a little too far.
Yeah,
for sure.
So that was the rest of it. It was all amazing. And then we came back. Curtis got really sick, and then I got sick. So it's just been a lot of kicking it hard this month and kind of just like resting. And I'm just really like calling in that energy and like ready and excited to keep doing that. And it's been amazing. I'm like pulling tarot for people while they're laying in the bowl and like, you know, spraying the cleansing spray. And I've got the whole ritual with the incense. And I'm excited to incorporate like some Reiki into that. And even people that have never had their tarot pulled are like really excited about that. And so it's just like such a safe space for me and my clients. And the interesting thing is trying to feel out, like, I don't want to offend somebody by offering them tarot because you never know. But like, even the one woman that I was like, would you like this at this point? I offer this, like, are you interested? And she was like, I've actually been reading tarot for myself since I was like 16 years old. But she was like, I don't tell anyone about it because because she was older, and she's like, when I started doing it, it was really fucking weird. And she's like, I would even like not even tell some of my partners or husband that it was like something that I did. And so it's like a little secret practice that she has for herself. And she's like, I haven't really had that many other people like read for me. And so
did you get to read for her?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
it was great.
What a treat for her.
Yeah.
How awesome.
It's also like sometimes reading tarot is great, but it's like, people are here to relax. I don't need to tell you about your problems. Same with like, so we had our witchy night.
Oh my God.
My cards were being so bitchy. And I finally had to start telling people like, listen, it's not me, it's the cards. If you don't want some truth spit at you right now, I would go see someone else because
so funny.
I'm about to tell you some shit. And most people were like, I was
gonna ask, did you have people walk away?
No, I only started saying that after one woman was like, well, didn't really want to hear that. But I'm like, just Susan trying to have wine with the girlfriends and I'm telling her about her childhood trauma. After that, I was like, all right, disclaimer. Sorry.
Love that.
How are your readings?
Looking back on it now, I kind of feel like I blacked out almost. Like
nice.
It was our second witchy night at Pascal's, and I had just gotten back in town 36 hours before, maybe, if that. So yeah, I just was like, I'm so glad we had that and needed that so much. I was really looking forward to just like getting back in the groove of
it was so fun.
The things that we've been creating.
I was less stimulated after than the
totally.
first time.
Like
the energy was still high.
The energy was good. I think knowing, like, having a better idea of what to expect this time helped a lot. It definitely was nonstop. Like, I remember people, like, last time I had, like, people would just come up after someone was about to walk away, and the flow was perfect. This time I had minimum 3 people waiting in these chairs by me, like, to get a reading.
Which is funny because we didn't even put those chairs there for a wait line.
No, they were just there, and people just started hanging out. At one point, I had like 5 or 6 people waiting. But yeah, my readings were pretty good. There were a couple where people were like, that doesn't really resonate, and then I would pull some more cards, and I'm like, what the cards are telling me is that something is missing for you, like in like these, it keeps saying the same thing, I'm like, so I don't know, maybe journal and reflect on that. Maybe you're not acknowledging that something's missing because you're so caught up in your routine of life, and then you see that person kind of soften and be like, yeah, maybe you're right. It was just like this opportunity for people to dig a little deeper in those situations where they weren't really being honest with themselves. And I'm not showing up to be right. That's not my job. But when the cards keep saying the same thing over and over and over again, then I don't know what to tell you.
That's what I'm saying. It's like sometimes you pull and people are like, I don't know. And then it's like, okay, well, I just pulled 3 more fucking cards that just say the same thing in a different version. I'm like, this card says stubborn 4 times. So maybe you're being kind of fucking stubborn or rigid or whatever. I'm like, it's saying the same thing.
Yeah.
And then people are like,
I think it was a good opportunity for other people to kind of soften with themselves and realize that they needed to slow down, be present, and reflect. I feel like that is kind of a theme right now. It feels as we are exiting winter. It's your kind of last opportunity before things start to speed up again and
bloom.
Yeah, like plant those seeds. It's almost time. It was so incredible though. It went on till almost 10 again as expected, and it really is my like favorite monthly thing. I'm so excited for all the future months.
I really am envisioning like summertime, like festival type vibes, like little tents all over, different like maybe vendors and like things going on and music and like perfect sunshine. Like I can already see this day happening. I'm so excited.
It definitely is going to evolve, and
I would love to read together sometime, but I feel like we need to have more readers come so that like we're because right now we need as many people as possible. So if we took one of us away, it would like not make sense. But we made money, like we had a tip jar. It was amazing.
That was so fucking nice. That was interesting too, because I bring some items from my shop and I lay them out on my table. And last time I was able to kind of check people out separately, or it was people who were getting readings were also shopping. And this time I did not have time to even think about that. And I did sell some products.
You almost need a little assistant.
I think so. Yeah. Like after this time, maybe I'll see if Mark would want to come and do it for me. But because I had no time to really focus on that. And, I'm hoping that people were honest with me.
Yeah.
That's really the best that I could do this time. And people did Venmo me for products. So, but I just have no idea of how to count that. So
I can't believe we made money doing readings.
Oh my God. Yeah. I was really successful.
That's just hitting me
I
like
felt
goal.
Very blessed to have that experience and to make a little extra money.
Literally made money
share our
reading tarot.
gifts.
That's
and
not something I thought that I would say.
So many people, like there was this one woman, she'd never had a reading before, and whatever I was saying, she just, like, you see her kind of pull
like,
back with her eyes
heck?
all wide open. I was like, does that make sense? And she was like, that is scary on point. And I'm like, cool, I'm just whatever's coming through this channel, baby. Like,
I always just like look at people and shrug. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah.
I just love that. It feels so good to be able to connect with people.
Your readings are like I feel like a more of a story and like take some time and you're like traveling through this thing, and mine are like a quick
Bam, bam,
and
bam.
dirty and like to the point, which is very much how both of us operate as human beings anyways. And so I just like love to see that.
So fun. Such a great experience. Can't wait. The next one is March 23rd. It is a Thursday. So if you are local in Southern Oregon or anywhere and you just want to travel here, it is so much fun. I believe they're doing it from 6 to 9.
Did you say Pascal Winery?
At Pascal's Winery in Talent. And then from 5 to 6, I will also be hosting a Reiki drumming journey. So get on their newsletter and follow our Instagram for information on that, because the Reiki drumming will have a little fee to be able to attend that part. And stay tuned.
All right. So at this time, we'll take a couple of deep breaths to connect to our bodies. I'll have you take one big deep breath in and release. We'll take another deep breath in and release. And take the deepest breath you've taken all day. Deeper. And release. At this time, I would like to call in my guides and Amber's guides to be here with us today while we dive a little bit deeper into the Fool's Journey of the Tarot. And please bring forward whatever is meant to come forward and help us connect deeper with ourselves and our listeners. Thank you.
Thank you. Today is part 2 of the tarot, and today we are going to talk about the Major Arcana cards.
The Major Arcana goes through the Fool's Journey. The Fool is the very first card. It's actually card 0 of the Major Arcana. There are 12 archetypes. Am I saying that right? Everybody says it different.
Archetypes?
Yeah.
I think archetypes or archetypes. I've heard it too, but I say archetypes.
Yeah, that's what I say.
Yeah. Potato.
The archetypes kind of use ancient mythology and symbolism and some legends to tell the story. How did you explain like the Major Arcana compared to the minor?
So, I mean, to me, like when I'm doing a read and cards are coming up, when it's a Minor Arcana card, typically to me, that is something that like you personally can change or work on. And then with the Major Arcana, it's more external from you, like things that are happening around you. That's how I interpret it. It doesn't mean that it's right or wrong, but that is just how I personally read.
It's the same as the rest of the tarot, just using the story of the Fool to kind of reflect on your own life's journey and like your own patterns that you've gone through in your life. And we're gonna come at the Major Arcana from almost the storytelling way. Kind of. We're just going to go through it from 0 all the way through. If you really want it told as a story, there was a great thing I found on YouTube called Window to the Soul, The Fool's Journey. And it was so beautiful. It was like, who's the fool? How does he behave? Oh, he went and he met the magician, and the magician said this. And I really, really loved that.
Yeah.
The fool is the main character, and he's going through this journey meeting all these people. So it starts at 0, and in the like most traditional deck, which is the Rider-Waite deck, on the card I'm looking at, he's kind of like standing on the ledge, and there's the water and the mountains in the background, the sun shining on him. He's got his little bag. He's ready to go on his journey. There's a puppy. I don't really know what that has to do with anything, like pawing at its feet. But he's ready to like leap off the edge. He's ready to like take whatever adventure comes to him head first. He's innocent. He's excited. He's spontaneous. He's just prepared to take the leap of faith, even though he doesn't know what lies ahead. It could be that you're being foolish, but it seems like in a fun and innocent way to me, and like being called to be more playful or childlike even sometimes, and definitely like a new beginning.
Yeah, I always kind of interpret it like it's like a new chapter or like a whole new book that you're writing. It's time to start anew.
And each card is related to a planet and a chakra, and some of them even an astrological sign. This card is Uranus, which is like rebellion and revolution, obviously. He's a little rebellious. And then the crown chakra. So it's like time to embark on brand new beginning. So the first person that he encounters on his little journey is the magician. The magician is creative and powerful. He's like a master manifester, mentor, teacher. If you look at the card that I have, he has all 4 elements. He has everything that he needs to manifest. He is unique and powerful. He inspires action. You're being called to look at all your gifts and all of the things that you have, and knowing that kind of being different sets you apart, and to just embrace all of the tools that you have for your desires. I'm also hearing like, it reminds me of just like having your altar and like using that to create and manifest and all those things. The planet that goes with the magician is Mercury, and that is communication and mentality. And then the throat chakra. So speaking your truth.
Yeah, that makes sense. For sure.
Yeah. And then after that, he meets the high priestess. This is all the girlies' favorite card. Everybody wants the fucking high priestess. She's intuitive. She's connected. She's a baddie. She's self-aware. She is a reminder to trust your instincts and listen to your inner knowing, however that comes to you. It could be literally a knowing. It could be a gut feeling. It could be seeing your signs. And she tells you to stay connected and that you hold all the answers.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think her chakra is? She's intuitive. What do you think her chakra is?
Oh, third eye.
Like, don't think so hard about it. Trust your intuition.
Third eye.
Of course. And then the moon, which is just also mysterious and intuitive and all of that. She's a bad bee.
Well, she's like, is she the is it the high priestess or the empress that's pregnant in the picture?
The high priestess is not pregnant in this.
Because I was visualizing, and then it must be the empress. Then
I already skipped the part of what it says on the side, so I'm just not going to include
okay.
Whoops. The empress is not. The empress does represent pregnancy, though, and fertility. She's just not pregnant in this one. So then we run into the empress, who is, to me, that like divine feminine energy.
Yes.
She's nurturing, she's abundant, she encourages compassion and beauty and love. Think fertility, think Mother Earth, like taking your time in nature, calling in abundance, not even just in like financial ways, but in like love and yeah, just like nurturing your soul and others. You're being surrounded by everything you need. You're connecting to the earth and being one with it.
Mm-hmm.
So this one does have a sign with it, and it's Taurus. And then the planet is Venus, which is love and pleasure. And then you have the sacral chakra.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Of course.
Yeah.
So then we meet the emperor, who is the counterpart to the empress. So he's the daddy.
Hi, Daddy.
Which hey, daddy. So you got your mirror to that, which is the masculine energy. And when we say feminine and masculine, we don't mean genders.
Yeah.
We all hold within us masculine energy and feminine energy.
Mm-hmm.
Your feminine energy is your soft and your nurturing and being called to like slow down and be loving. Your masculine energy is a bit more taking action and putting yourself out there, and sometimes not thinking with your emotions as much. And so he's a leader, he is powerful, he's authoritative. He represents structure and reminds you to hold the same power.
I like the way you said authoritative.
Authoritative.
You said it very authoritatively.
I'm gonna spank you.
Yeah.
Daddy. This one also comes with a sign, which is Aries.
Of course.
Huh.
That
I'm like, that's not
makes
what I
so
think
much
of,
sense.
though. Why does that make sense to you?
Well, Aries is a fire sign, which
Yeah.
is very like forward motion, take action. It's the very first sign in the astrological,
Yeah. Bucket.
Losing my words today. A little blacked out still, I think, from our interview earlier. Yeah, it's
the first sign.
It's very fiery, it's very take action, very go.
And then we have Mars, which is action and energy. And your root chakra. And I did write the little quote that goes with it, and it just says, I am my own authority and I have the will and power to create my life structure. So then we have the Hierophant. And this represents spirituality, religion, and traditions. She can be a messenger from the heavens to bring lessons down to the material world and look at things through a spiritual perspective. Sometimes this card for me comes up in readings when I think people are being called to question their own like religious traditions or religious trauma as well. But she is deeply spiritual. Taurus is the sign that represents the Hierophant. Venus is the planet, which is love and pleasure. And then your throat chakra. Everybody also loves this card because everybody wants love. But we have the Lovers. The card is represented in a lot of different ways across tarot. I haven't even stared at this one that much, but the two people are naked. And there's the snake and there's the apples. So you've got like an Adam and Eve vibe, and then a god or goddess over with their hands like raised out above them with like crazy fire hair. And then the sun behind it. The Lover's card is exactly what it sounds like. It's like close relationships, which don't necessarily have to be romantic relationships. It's just like two people that are close. It could also mean major life choices and decisions, just like a perfect union, partnership. It could mean sexual connections, and it may come up when you're coming to like a crossroads sometimes.
When this comes up reverse in readings for me too, I often interpret it as like more self-love and turning that love inwards.
Or your husband's cheating on you. Sorry.
See, we read very differently. No, that's more the Three of Swords.
That card sucks.
It can also be good. It doesn't always have to be shitty.
Every time it comes up, I'm like, I'm sad.
But it does mean like heartache.
Yeah, and like, you know, whatever other cards are around it that are surrounding it.
Mm-hmm. Tell the story.
Tell the story.
Yeah.
Which is a great segue. Like, all of these cards can mean one thing if you pull one, and then you keep pulling more for clarity and to get the actual story of like what's going on.
Totally.
So we got some Gemini energy here, which is like duality, two people.
Yeah,
makes sense. Mercury, which is the planet of communication and mentality. And then what chakra do you think?
For the lovers, the heart.
Duh.
Yeah.
I really love the next card, and I don't know why. Yeah, I do. I don't know. We have the Chariot. The Chariot card is like success and victory and willpower. Connecting to your natural drive within, determination and upcoming victory. It's a bit more daddy vibes as well. But you're like self-disciplined, you're overcoming obstacles. This is a beautiful card that can come up.
Yeah.
Especially when you've been going through it. We have Cancer. What planet do you think goes with Cancer? Did you know I'd be testing you today?
No. Neptune?
The moon.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Feelings
too.
and
That makes
instincts.
sense too.
And we have your throat chakra. The 8th card in the Major Arcana is the Strength card. It is what it sounds like, right? Inner strength, courage, confidence, focus, the ability to withstand anything in life. You will overcome. Just being stronger than whatever you're going through. It obviously has a lion on it because the lion indicates strength. Which, what sign is that?
Leo.
Yes. That's not a lion noise. Never mind. Cut.
Don't cut.
Meow. It's a big cat.
That's mine. Go at it.
Not any better than mine.
No.
The planet is the sun, which is not really a planet, but conscious mind and ego and your solar plexus. The next card is the Hermit. This card came up for me so much. Are you crying?
I'm just yawning, so I got a little teardrop.
The next card is the Hermit. This card came up for me a ton during like COVID and hardships. And I think also when I wasn't as connected to myself or my spirituality, the deck kept being like, shut up, meditate, meditate. And I said, no. I want to watch Love is Blind. And ignore all my feelings. So this card is clearly like soul searching, self-reflection, inner guidance, meditation. The only way to process what happens in life is to kind of close off the noise from the world around you and just know again that you hold all the answers within yourself. And you're just being called to be still and listen. This is some Virgo energy with Chiron,
the healer,
and the solar plex. No, third eye. But I wrote something else down, so which makes sense. Obviously, you're gonna meditate. You got third eye. The Wheel of Fortune is the next card. This, to me, is kind of the card of like the cycles of life. It's upright. It can mean like good luck, but upside down, it can mean bad luck. And when I think of this card, I think like you can't enjoy the good parts of life without the bad, and how
Totally.
life is just very secular and we go through stuff, but we'll always come out at the other side. And like nothing is permanent, good or bad.
I like
And
that.
just appreciate the lessons of that life gives you. The planet is Jupiter, which is expansion and prosperity. And then you have your solar plexus. And the last card that I have for you is the Justice card. Justice is kind of what it sounds like. Justice, karmic justice. It could come up with like, people are always like financial, or not financial,
Legal
but like
shit.
legal
Yeah.
issues. But I think it's about like life lessons, consequences to every action, balance. Obviously, I literally do think Libra every time I look at her.
The scales.
And so it is Libra. I also have written down like every choice you or someone else makes in life has led to this moment, which is like butterfly effect vibes. Venus, which is love and pleasure, and obviously the heart chakra.
I love that.
Yeah. She is she is Libra to me.
Fairness.
Definitely.
So I got the last half of the Major Arcana
Thank
for
God,
you.
I'm so tired of talking and stumbling over my words.
You're doing great. So the card after that is the Hanged Man. This is a time to pause, and stillness will grant you perspective. It's a good time for meditation, time to surrender, new outlook, changes to your values, beliefs, and viewpoints. When this card comes up, you're likely desiring to take action or make change, but you just don't have the clarity in what should happen first or where to go. So it's time to surrender and release what's no longer serving you so that you can allow for the universe to work its magic.
Like literally hang tight.
Yeah, like chill
hang
out.
Tight for a sec. It's
Take
like
a
looks
breath.
like a little bat upside down, right?
He does kind of look like a bat.
I guess some cards are a bat.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that's why I'm thinking that.
Yeah, he's just like hanging from a tree upside down with his legs crossed and his hands tied behind his back, and he has like this, basically like this sun aura around his head. So it's just like, just let yourself chill out here for a moment.
I love the hands behind the back, like don't
it's out of your control right now.
Yeah.
Like you have nothing you need to do except chill. And then this is your third eye, which has to do with your intuition, and the planet is Neptune, which governs ideas and also intuition.
Love it.
Yes, it's a good one.
Checks out.
And then the card after that, one that everyone fears and gets spooked when it shows
all
up.
The dark half of the Major
I also
Arcana.
got some sunshine too, so don't worry.
One card.
Yeah. This card is Death.
I love the Death card.
I fucking love the Death card. Of course you do, you Scorpio.
Oh, yeah.
You're all about that.
Oh, yeah.
So things need to die in order to be reborn. It's like, I always think about like the seasons. Exactly. Yeah. Like you're in the winter season, you've harvested all your stuff from the fall before things go to die. And in order to have like new growth, you have to kind of go into this little moment of silence, this moment of surrender, which is interesting that the Hanged Man is right before this. So, death to be reborn, shedding the old and your past. It's a change in cycles. It's a reminder that nothing stays the same. All things are always changing, and it's an opportunity for new beginnings.
Yeah.
So when this card comes up, it's just letting you know to not allow old situations or old versions of yourself to keep you from experiencing new and possibly better things. No more holding back. This is connected to your heart chakra. So love for self, love for others.
I love that.
The planet is Pluto.
Duh.
Which is regenerative
Rebirth.
and transformation. Yeah. And the astrological sign is Scorpio.
Again, duh.
Let's see, what did the thing on that card say? It says, I'm willing to let go of a past version of myself. I really love that.
Love it. I'm seeing like a snake shedding its like,
oh,
old
totally.
skin.
Yeah. And then you get this like nice shiny coat.
I had this girl at when I was reading for her, like, should I quit my job? And it was like the death card, the tower card, and then like something else. And I'm like, yeah, like now,
should.
like, and then I was thinking, I wonder how many people quit their jobs the day after that, because I told like 3 people to quit their jobs that night.
Like, that's like your magic power.
Quit your job, break up with your boyfriend, move to another city.
Hell yeah. You're such a Scorpio. I love it. Our next card is Temperance, and this represents creative energy. It is very much about the balance, the yin and yang, masculine, feminine, harmony, tranquility. Temperance is here to remind you to go with the flow. She encourages peace and patience. It is not a time to force anything. Be flexible and open to change if necessary.
Okay.
She is connected to your solar plexus, which has to do with your identity and confidence. And the planet is Jupiter, which again is expansiveness and prosperity. And the astrological sign is Sagittarius. After that, looking at the card, actually, I'm like connected to it because it's like this angel flying over this little pond area, and there's like mountains in the background with the path, and the sun's coming up. But in her hands is 2 cups, and she's like pouring water from one cup into the other cup, which I think is, I don't know, that caught my eye. It's just that like giving and receiving energy. Okay, another card that people freak out about, the devil. And the devil represents attachment, possessiveness, ego bondage, addiction, mental health, anxiety, depression, powerlessness. So I don't really think this is a bad card. I just think it's like a really good card to, kind of call you out and make sure that you're not being controlled by anything outside of yourself. It's just a really good reminder to kind of reflect and be like, what has a control over me? What has me bonded to it that is kind of getting in the way?
Maybe like addiction.
Yeah, addiction's huge.
Time,
yeah.
Which doesn't have to be alcohol or drugs.
Yeah.
Like we can be addicted to so many other things.
Social media,
relationships, toxic people, parents,
food, so many things. And like the pictures, a depiction of the devil like standing kind of on this throne, and then there are 2 naked people that are chained together, and like the chains are really loose. So to me that's like, you have the control.
Like
it's
you're
easy.
bounding yourself.
Yeah, it's easy to release that control. You could slip right out of those chains if you want. They're not tight, and he's not even holding on to them. But like you and the other person, which could just be, your own energy.
I love that.
Yeah, so I just think that's interesting.
That reminds me, because Jackson pulled that card in that episode, and I was watching White Lotus yesterday, season 2, and
so good.
the crazy Italian tarot reader comes in and pulls the same card, but it was the same deck, so it was like the El Diablo, like
wow.
Yeah, and she was like reading all the things, and she's like, "You're negative. Get out of here." But I was just like, good. "Oh, I know that deck."
Such a good show. Oh my god. The devil reminds us that we have everything we need inside of ourselves to unlock our full potential. If you're feeling stuck, it's time to unfuck yourself.
Tight. You heard it here first.
You literally have the power. Just fucking stop. This is connected to your root chakra, which has to do with security and stability. The planet is Saturn, which is responsibility and discipline.
Yep.
and the astrological sign is Capricorn. And the thing I love on the card, it has like a little quote, and it says, "I am not a puppet." And then I wrote, "You're being controlled by an outer source, for example, addiction, but really you hold the power to change."
Yeah.
And then, of course, another card that people get frightened by when they see it, the Tower card. And this one might actually be one of my favorites to pop up.
Love.
It's it's straight chaos. Like, the picture is very alarming. It's this this big tower, and lightning is striking it, and it's caught on fire, and people are falling out of the building, and it's like, holy fuck, that looks scary. But the tower is here, like, it represents abrupt change, shedding old values, concepts, ideas, concerns, deconstruction, chaos. Feels like everything is crumbling and out of control. And the message of the Tower card is, let it fall. What's falling apart is energies and situations that are no longer supporting you, and you need to build a stronger foundation.
Yeah.
Again,
like, burn it to the
burn
fucking
it
ground.
down. Like, this, stop trying to hold it up and hold shit together and surrender and just let it fall apart.
It reminds me, like, coming out of the tower, I always think like the phoenix rising from the ashes.
100%.
Like, burn it to the fucking ground, turn into your little phoenix self, and fly away from the bullshit.
Yes, fuck all that shit. Yeah, and I wrote this card similar to the death card. It is connected to your crown chakra, which is your connection to your higher self and your spirit team, the universe, and to trust that the universe is removing obstacles from your way. When this card is coming up, it's just like, just let the universe take over.
I willingly release what no longer serves me.
Yes, baby. The quote on this card is, "I surrender to the storm." And the planet is Mars, which is the planet of action and energy. Yeah, I love the Tower card. It's just like, okay, yeah.
Also gives Scorpio vibes, but it doesn't say that on
I think
there.
It just gives you permission to to acknowledge whatever the fuck is going on and just kind of step back and view it from across the street. And just like,
it does remind me of the death card a lot.
Totally.
Like, let it die.
Let it die. Because you get to build something even bigger and better and stronger.
Yeah. Things fall apart in our life all of the time so that we can let new things in, and it might feel like the end of the fucking world at the time, but then when you look back on it, you're like, oh, that gave me space for whatever new thing came in.
Yeah, exactly. It also is like a reminder of like, what are you clutching on to that's no longer working for you? What are, relationships or businesses or,
and trust that everything happens for you and not to you.
Yes, 100% agree with that. So
look at us, we're so enlightened. Wow.
T-shirt. Look at us, we're so enlightened.
I'm writing it down.
Wow.
Merch coming soon.
So after all this like intense energy, we kind of get the light in the tunnel, and this is the star card. And Yay. I love the representation like of the art in this card and every deck I've seen it in. It is a naked woman like on this pond, and it has two different vessels of water, and like it's pouring water into the pond but also into the earth. And I just love the artwork on that.
Yeah, me too.
This card represents the calm and serenity, renewal, hope, healing, rejuvenation, inspiration, which just makes sense like after the tarot card.
In the storytelling format of that, it's like, right, like you just burnt the whole thing to the ground and now you're rebuilding hope.
Exactly. It makes so much sense to know that the star comes right after the tower.
Thank God.
Thank goddess. That was pretty good.
This one's for the girls.
Now
This one's for the girls.
Now that the tower has come down, we get to enjoy
some Martina McBride on the channel.
So, sidebar, we when we get together, we just like all of a sudden get random fucking songs in our head when we're recording. So Taylar is slowly building a playlist of these random songs that dump into our brain through our channel.
Very random.
It's so random. It's going to be lovely.
That's hilarious. There was another one that hit me when you're talking, but I can only hear the first part of it. It just says, and I can't hear any words. So
well, I wish I could hear that too.
Yeah. I'll have to.
Workshop it.
Okay.
It's going to be a fun playlist. So, the star is here to tell you that the universe is working in your favor and to trust that you are being divinely guided.
Yes.
Yeah, just take a moment to trust, baby. Yes.
Queen.
And this is also connected to your crown chakra, divinely guided and held. This is representation of the planet Uranus, which again is revolution and rebelliousness. And the astrological sign, it is Aquarius.
I love me some Aquarius.
Yes, the quote on this card says, "The universe shows me that I can have faith in my dreams." Love her.
What an amazing card.
I know, it's such a good card. So good. Okay, and then after that, we've got the moon. The moon has to do with visions, intuitions, dreams, fantasies. It is the dark night of the soul. This can also represent anxiety and fear, misconception, hidden thoughts and feelings. It is the shadow. The moon can show up if you're allowing your fears to hold you back from your limitless future. It just means it's time for shadow work. And again, if you've been here, it's about asking those whys. It's expressing the feeling, asking why that feeling is there, and then
like
digging
literally
deeper.
like a 2-year-old. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Just keep asking why until you get your clarity. Bring your feelings to light so that you can free yourself from anxiety and worry. And okay, pop quiz you. What is the chakra of this card?
Third eye.
Yeah, baby.
Fuck yeah. I get an A?
You get an A++.
Do I get a gold star?
Hell yeah. I'll give you a gold star.
That's it. You made it sound sexual.
I did. I heard it.
She's talking about my butthole. Leave my gold star alone.
Oh, I missed you so much.
And we're back.
The planet for the moon is Neptune, which has to do with your ideals and intuition.
It's not the moon?
No, it's not the moon.
That doesn't make any sense.
I know. What the hell? And the astrological sign is Pisces. Of course.
Sometimes you say of course, and I think, do I not know anything about astrology?
You definitely do.
So I don't see why it's Pisces. That's not an of course to me.
I mean, like,
it's
just like emotional, intuitive, sign, and it is very dark night of the soul.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to me. Does that help bring clarity?
Maybe.
And then we have Here Comes the Sun.
Added to the list.
The Sun card is evolution and vitality, joyous fulfillment. Literally, whether it's upright or reverse, this is always a positive card. It is a positive sign that everything is going to be okay and things are working out in your favor. You're on the right path. You are surrounded by good vibes. So just trust that. What chakra do you think?
Your crown.
Your solar plexus.
Duh, it's literally
F-. It's also solar.
Oh. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Pop quiz number 2. What planet?
For the sun. Well, we know it's not the sun, like it was something else.
It is the sun.
Well, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Why was the moon not moon?
I don't know, but the sun is the sun.
Okay, well, if I would have fucked that one up, it wouldn't have been my fault.
That's true.
Solar plexus. Really makes sense.
That's your pop quiz game. The sun is the conscious mind and the ego. And the quote on this card was, I shine my light on the world around me, and my radiance attracts more success.
I just was thinking about those people that don't eat, but they just like show their buttholes to the sun.
What
for
is that called?
Hold on, I'm Googling.
I didn't know that like they don't eat and they just receive food from the sun.
Yeah.
But I knew about like putting your like anus bathing or whatever it's called.
Butthole to the sun. Siri. Why you shouldn't try perineum sunning. Please don't harvest solar energy with your butthole, says scientist.
Harvesting energy with your butthole.
I guess it's called perineum sunning. Does your butthole need sunlight? Perineum sunning gurus say yes. Sunlight has excellent germicidal qualities, and exposure to the sun will help keep your anal and vaginal areas healthy and clean and free of germs. I don't think that that's scientific.
Oh, no.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast don't necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Amber and I. I'm so sorry. It's been too long. Okay, we have like one more card.
No, we have a few more, but we're almost there. Okay. So the next card is Judgment, which is funny after perennial sunning. The Judgment card, it represents self-evaluation, snap judgments, awakening, and renewal. It's a time to review and ask yourself, are you in alignment with your soul's purpose?
I think they're just calling us out. It's like, get your shit together.
Yeah.
Quit joking about buttholes. Start talking about
Time
tarot.
To go. Right. Know that you can always change directions if you're being called to, and the future isn't set in stone.
Free will, baby.
I love that. This has to do with your crown chakra, which is your connection to your higher self and all the higher energies. The planet is Pluto, which is regenerative and transformative. And the quote was, the daily choices I make now align with my life's purpose. Yes, it's more of an affirmation.
I love that.
Love it, love it.
Like
and
the
then
little net.
The final card in the Fool's Journey is the World. And this card represents success and achievements, transmutation, recognizing and assuming your rightful place in life and sense of being. It is completion and fulfillment, which makes sense because you've completed the Fool's Journey. And this shows up to remind you that you are exactly where you're supposed to be. You have a greater understanding now of who you are, and it's a full circle moment and time to start a new chapter.
You are enlightened.
Yes, exactly.
I love that.
The chakra is the root chakra, which is security and grounding. The planet is Saturn, responsibility and discipline. And the affirmation is, what I've been working for is already done.
And so it is.
And so it is, baby.
Love.
And so that is our breakdown on the Major Arcana Tarot Part 2 for you guys. And we hope that was enjoyable.
And digestible.
Yeah.
And easy and fun. So I'm going to pull some cards. This reading is going to be for the collective and whatever needs to come through. And you've been fully versed, so you know exactly what we're talking about. So I am going to tell you all the cards we have because now you people know. Do people like being called you
I was
people?
just asking. Or like not asking. I was just thinking that in my brain.
I like saying it, but I don't know if that's offensive. Well, it's very like gender inclusive.
Yeah, I think the fact that you're addressing that and saying that it is a lovely thing coming out of your mouth, I don't think anyone can be offended now.
So we have the Justice card, we have the Hierophant, we have the Two of Swords, we also have the Two of Pentacles reversed, we have the Nine of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, the old Three of Swords, King of Wands, and the Four of Cups reversed. So lots of wands energy, which we know, right, is your intellect and everything going on up here. Swords, sorry. We have lots of swords energy, a little bit of pentacles. So to me, something's out of balance. And it could be something financially or materially that you have to make some kind of decision. Like you're at a crossroads in life and it's causing you a lot of pain and heartache and anxiety. But in this decision that you're being called to, there is a lot of space for new opportunity. You just have to give yourself that space and let go of any of the fear that comes with it. I do think this is a job situation. This is like something you're working for. Because we also do have like a new beginning, a building a business, like your employment and like being in charge. So there could be an opportunity to take a job where you are in charge of people and you're being the boss. And I think you would be a good leader in this role and someone that is a very fair leader. It could be in education, possibly, or this isn't that broad. This is like super specific for someone. But like it's a big group of people that you are taking on this role for. But I think you should say yes and that it's a big good thing. Also, this could be read in multiple different ways. So what if I give you all these cards and let you look at them and reread them for what you think?
Okay. So I think you're onto something with like a job opportunity or like maybe not necessarily like even working for someone else. If that's not the case for you, like this could really be
starting your own business.
Yeah. Like or a business opportunity that's being presented to you. And it may not even have to be like this could be a side hustle, you know, but something is coming up that is new and it's like you're kind of you're uncertain. So I'm seeing like maybe you just lost a job. And you're just kind of feeling like what the fuck am I gonna do now? Like I was blindsided by this. I wasn't expecting that. Now you're kind of in this panic and worry about like how am I going to make ends meet? What am I gonna do? Okay, yep. She also just pulled the Page of Cups. We're adding to this. So the thing that's really been like kind of sticking out on my face is the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords, like this card's always very fascinating to me because it is a person holding two swords, you know, crossed against her chest, and she's got a blindfold on. And this card always to me is like you are just putting on your blinders when you have the full opportunity to be able to like remove the blindfold and see more clearly. It is like an opportunity to face your fears and get some clarity. So taking some time I think will be really important to kind of like tap into your intuition and see what comes through at, connect with your higher self and just like do a journal session to see like what kind of clarity that you may need right now. Because it's going to be really hard for you to like take that leap of faith and jump forward and seize an opportunity when you're so clouded by whatever's previously happened. Like there's this wrongdoing that's happened and you're just kind of dwelling on this past situation. It's not serving you. The Hierophant, it is really like connecting to a higher knowledge. And
I think that goes with what you literally just said, because what we were just talking about is the Hierophant can come to you as like a messenger from the heavens to bring like clarity and lesson. So it's like connecting to your higher self and listening.
Yeah. I mean, and whatever your belief systems are, and like really getting clear on that too, and trusting in that. So yeah, there's so much abundance in your future. And like, I think too, like there is just like old patterns and old limiting beliefs and stuff that are getting in the way right now of you being able to like feel confident in taking this leap of faith. Maybe you don't think you're worthy of doing that. Like maybe you've made bad decisions in the past, or you're not good with money and you think like I'll always not be good with money, or whatever the case is. Money is just a simple example, but like that could be anything where you're like, I've never been good at this, so how can I trust that I will be good at this? And you literally get to make that change, and the experience is going to help you get better at that too. But you are being presented with opportunities here, and all the cards are saying like, yes, jump, like this is going to be so successful for you. It's going to bring you,
I think that it'll be much more emotionally fulfilling.
Absolutely. It's going to fill your cup. It's going to fill your soul. I also really think this is going to be like intuitive work. Like it's not going to be something that you like that's out in society that you think you should be doing and going to this job. It's going to be something that you get to wake up and go to, that you are excited about, that
and sharing with others.
Yeah, it is much bigger than you. It's almost like you have this gift and it's time to shine. It's time to show the world what you have to offer.
I think that's what when I said education, I was like more like share. Like now that I'm looking at it, I'm like sharing and like teaching others your gift.
Yeah, absolutely. And like we have the 7 of Pentacles and as well as the 10 of Pentacles, and both of these are big yes cards, and it's like your hard work's gonna pay off and you're gonna be really successful at this. Like you just have to keep going and to have patience and trust, because it is gonna pay off, especially when you're in that space of like, how the fuck am I gonna pay my bills? Like just really trust into that and know that it's going to happen. But you are in charge of your life, and so why not step into that role and really show the world that you are bigger and better than what the box that society has put you in. It's time to take action and take the opportunity. I also think too, this is very much part of your soul's purpose, and to remember and trust that like everything that happens and has happened is happening for you, like we talked about earlier with the cards, and you are just getting this path cleared so that you can get more in alignment with yourself and your soul and your higher purpose.
Yeah, every other card that I pull like keeps affirming that. Like you've got the 7 of Cups, and in the cups there's literally like each cup is full of a different option. And so like you have all of these options in front of you and all of these possibilities. You just have to like seize the moment, seize the day.
And you can, and like having the 7 cups full of ideas and the different buckets, like to me that's also telling me that like it's not just one certain way that you're going to come into this money. There are multiple different avenues that you can take, and you don't just have to choose one. You can do all of them, but you have to start somewhere.
And all of those cards hit like every chakra, so you should probably get Reiki too.
Yeah, baby. You know who to call.
Ding, ding.
All right. Well, what a fun episode and a great way to wrap up our tarot
series. Our first series.
Yes.
Ooh.
We know they're not in order, but maybe it'll just give you some time to digest between the first one and this one.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for being here and being with us. We love you
so much.
We love doing this. It's
so much.
Literally lighting our souls big time. So go ahead and drink some water.
Play in the snow.
Read a book.
Read a book backwards.
Ricker.
Show your butthole to the sun.
Take a bath.
Tickle your partner. I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me today.
Wash your face.
Eat some food.
Nourish your soul.
I'm not going to say it.
Okay,
I'm going to say
bye.
lick a cat. Bye. Find us on TikTok and Instagram at Waking Up the Witch.
Please email us your witchy stories, ghost stories, corrections, and advice questions to wakingupthewitch@gmail.com.
Love you.
Love you.